fear, but we know that last year Stephen Kane had a massive battle with Alex Buncombe in the Nissan. I have a feeling that where Bentley are positioned is extremely comfortable, and bearing in mind that they don't carry amongst either two cars a driver who might be described as being slightly below the level of the lead drivers, that's going to give them some advantage. So we wait and see. Lots of things can take course during a 6-hour race, and just simply the start itself. I mean, if everybody will make a clean start, see the safety car leading them off. It's, I mean, a massive 57 car field. Hopefully we'll get through the opening laps cleanly. We won't have any full course yellows or safety car interventions. Safety car intervention will come after a full course yellow. That's a revision to some of the regulations that we have been accustomed to. Car being pushed off the grid. Just trying to see, is that Ferrari?
It is a Ferrari.
Is that Matt Griffin's car?
I'm hoping hopefully it's not, but
it looks like it's a lot of green in it. 39.
No, 39 is its class position. The Lumiere display, yes.
Yeah.
Try to see.
Just to see the number on that car as the field makes its way down on the exit out of turn 3.
Could be the Black Pearl Racing car, couldn't it? The Parov Matschul Dominic Schwager car. What happens if I peer through the glass? Can't see that far up the pit straight. So let's have a quick look at the whole grid. We've not done that yet. It is going to be Passin Lathoris who starts, and alongside him is Motoaki Ishikawa. The second row, Wolfgang Reip and Guy Smith, and the third row is Rob Bell and Matteo Malucelli. So you've got McLaren and Ferrari lining up alongside one another. Then on the fourth row there is Duncan Cameron starting alongside Andrea Piccini. Jelmer Berman shares the next row of the grid with Mauro Engel. Michael Meadows will start number 2 Audi, and Ori Hassid will start 74, the ISR Audi alongside. Then Michael Broniewski, he starts number 11, the Kessel Ferrari. Jeroen Mull in the Lamborghini alongside. Next up, Jeroen Bleekemolen, who's already done a Lamborghini race today. Callum McLeod's Bentley, the privateer car, is alongside. Then it's Dominic Baumann and former Grand Prix racer Will Stevens on row 9. Row 10 is Frederik Vervisch and Jan Magnussen lining up alongside him, starting in number 3. The 11th row, Mitsunori Takaboshi for Nissan, Maxime Jousse in the Porsche. Row 12, Ahmad Al-Harfi will go first, and alongside him is Fabio Babini's Lamborghini. Row 13 is Albert Costa in the Emil Frey Racing Jaguar, and alongside him is Andrew Watson in the second of the Garage 59 McLarens. Row 14, Philip Eng's BMW, Marco Bononomi's Audi. Row 15, David Perel and Jules Shimkowiak in the extra Team HTP Motorsport car, the third car for this race. Row 16, Dirk Werner's Rover Racing BMW, and Alessandro Balzan in the AF Corsa Ferrari. And we're not done yet. Row 17, Christopher Hasser and Peter Cox. Row 18, Clement Schmidt and Renger van der Zande. Row 19, Philip Salaquada and Rino Mastronardi. The 20th row, Dominic Schwager and Laurent Cazenave. The 21st row, Hubert Haupt and Giovanni Berton. The 22nd row of the grid is where you will find Jürgen Hering's Attempto Racing Porsche, and lining up alongside him, Giorgio Roda's BMW. The 23rd row, Michele Cerruti and Lance David Arnold in another of the Mercedes. Row 24, Matthew Simmons' Nissan, Chris Cooper's Bentley. The 25th row, Marco Zannottini's Kessel Racing Ferrari and Rinat Salikov in the Rinaldi Racing Green Ferrari. The 26th row, Alexander Moisib's Ferrari and Maurice Ricci's Mercedes. The 27th row, the BMW from the Boots & Gignon team of Oliver Grutz and Romano Ricci, the Parfumerer, is alongside. And the 28th row, Christoph Hammer and Miro Konopka. And there's another one, because starting from the pit lane will be Leo Michitsky in the Barwell Lamborghini. It's had an engine change. It was initially given a stop-go penalty. That's been rescinded. Instead, it will start from the pit lane, and that's the only penalty it will have.
And that's the best result they could have had out of that situation. Field comes through, safety car peels off,
and we're good to go racing. 76 Porsche, I notice, is also going to start from the pit lane behind the Barwell car, but 6 hours of racing at Paul Ricard is about to get underway. The third race of the year in the Blancpain GT Series Endurance Cup. 57 cars about to be unleashed. A multi-million euro grid is about to go racing, as up towards the timing line they come. The light's still red. Go to green now. We're racing. Who gets the best start? It's going to be Guy Smith, who goes up round the outside there, up near the pit wall. The Nissan tries to squeeze down the inside in mid-grid. Round the outside goes Guy Smith. Lathoris in the yellow Ferrari will hang on to the lead. And now hold your breath to make sure everybody gets through safely. Through turn 1, up towards turn 2. Guy Smith trying to get up on the inside. There's dust kicked up. Lamborghini's run wide, but if you can just make it round the first lap, you've got a chance. The last thing anybody needs is damage as the Bentleys run side by side down towards turn 3. Smith almost into the back of Lathoras. Wolfgang Reip trying to go round the outside of his teammate and passing Lathoras, stacking them all up as they wriggle their way round turn 5 for the first time.
I mean, a big start into turn 1. Everybody appeared to get through it cleanly. The two Bentleys are fighting each other over that second position, and they all look as they come onto the long Mistral straight to use the slipstream there. Well, one Bentley's gone past already. Now the second Bentley's picking up the 2 of the number 7 Bentley, and here they come. I mean, it's like the thundering herd here at Paul Ricard on them. And Ferrari now can make it 4 abreast on the Mistral straight. A McLaren.
Fantastic. Look at that. Rob Bell almost off the road. Lathoras and the yellow Ferrari. The two Bentleys absolutely side by side. No chicanes for GT cars. It is absolutely foot to the boards. Round senior they go. Smith leads. Reip second. Rob Bell is up to third. Look at Lathoras having to defend now as well because he's got the Lamborghini of Lucas Stoltz right up behind him. What an opening lap.
Well, for passing Lathoras, it was always going to be a big ask to try and come around at the end of lap 1 in the lead. The two Bentleys were waiting at the earliest opportunities to mug the pole position Ferrari, but Rob Bell and the McLaren, he's got his dander up. He sees an opportunity to get to the front very quickly. He will want to get himself splitting those two Bentleys. He's got a very good chance because right now, on this opening lap, it is Rob Bell who's made the most progress in this opening lap.
Almost time for a deep breath as they come up towards the timing line, but we're not done yet because Rob Bell is right there. So British cars, first, second and third as they Brexit the last corner up towards the timing line. 1 or 2 get forced out wide over the floppy markers, including BMWs and Nissans and Mercedes and. So Smith leads, Reip second at the end of lap 1. Rob Bell is third. Fourth is number 19, it's Andrea Piccini starting the Lamborghini. In 5th place is Marucelli. In 6th place, Mauro Engel going great guns. Jelmer Berman has got himself up in the mix, so has Michael Meadows. And so passing Lathoras was 9th, but he's dropping like a hot potato at the moment.
I mean, it is almost an unenviable position for any driver, a less experienced driver than your teammate, because you know you've got professional drivers and very quick cars. And these two Bentleys couldn't have been better positioned for the start of this race. They can more or less defend comfortably the pace of the McLaren. McLaren much quicker coming through turn 5, 6, now into turn 7, under the rear. I mean, you can almost, the Bentley drivers would hardly even see the McLaren. Such is the difference in physical size between the lead 3 cars, the two Bentleys leading and Rob Bell and the McLaren. The straight line speed, and remember we've got a tailwind following these cars all the way down this 1 kilometre long Mistral straight. Rob Bell sits there. He's got no advantage from the aerodynamic draft, the slipstream from the Bentleys, just sitting there hoping to make up ground, maybe when they get into turns 9 and 10.
And there you've got one of the great things about GT racing, the complete different shape of the Bentley and the McLaren, and yet they're, thanks to the balance of performance, competitive and running together. More fights rage on lower down the order, but remember, 6 hours of racing. It is a 6-hour sprint, as people were saying on the grid. A lot yet can shake out of this as the 3 leading cars then work their way up towards the end of lap number 2. They're turning their way towards the Virage du Lac and then Virage du Pont at the end of the opening lap of the race. Track limits may well turn out to be an issue as we go through, but for the moment we are being told that number 4, which is the Audi of Delina, Cox and Caffer, has stopped at turn 2. So it's in the first sector, and he's had a punctured tyre on the Nissan. It is. Now, has that got anything to do with number 4 being stationary?
I don't know, but we saw certainly at the start and then in the opening lap, the Nissan going very, very wide on the start, pitch straight. Then it went very, very wide on the exit at the end of the first lap. May not be the same car, but that one certainly has got a problem with the left rear.
I couldn't quite see whether it was 22 or 23, so I'll count the cars over the line in a moment and try and identify. Yeah, it's 22. It's the Pro-Am Nissan. 23 just gone past us, yeah, so 22 it is.
Well, their misfortune just seems to continue. And that car falling down literally by, as every car flies by, coming up to the completion of the lap.
So they need to pit and try and keep it on the lead lap if they can. So up front, the Bentleys running together, absolutely nose to tail. Smith versus Reip. Remember, this is Le Mans winner Guy Smith. This is Guy Smith, who has been around the block a fair few times. Wolfgang Reip, one of the many drivers that came out of the Nissan PlayStation Academy, and there he is, right up with Guy.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a bit of an irony. We saw that at Silverstone, where the Nissan and the Bentley were at one point very close company, and it is Wolfgang Reip in the Bentley now dishing it out to the Nissan. The Nissan has been very, very off its normal form, off its normal pace. They did get a little bit of relief overnight. They got a little bit more performance from the engine, but nevertheless they didn't get into the top 10 qualifying, which is where they need to be in these opening laps to try and consolidate a performance.
So Wolfgang Reip at the moment, fractionally quicker than Guy Smith as he tries to get himself up on the back, but the danger is if they squabble, then they're going to let Rob Bell get even closer, because in the first sector he was quicker.
Tyre in the middle of the track.
Oh, yeah, and that's off the Nissan,
yeah.
They said together, so we must agree. Yes, now that, is it going to get blown out of the way, bumped out of the way? Can a brave Marshall sprint across the track? The trouble is, of course, 57 cars, they'll start to stretch out around the circuit. Could even be a full course yellow to have to get that out of the way. And already they are scattered around the circuit. It's not one continuous line, so a Marshall being deployed from a long way off the track across to get that moved is not going to be easy. There's the culprit. The Nissan goes a lap down. It's in the pit lane, but it loses a lap. But I just wonder how that tyre is going to be retrieved, and it could possibly be in full course yellow.
It most likely will be, unless if you've got a 25 or 30 second gap, you might have a Marshall given the opportunity, who's a bit swift on his legs, to get out there, remove it. Remember, that tyre will be very, very hot because it's been running the best part of a lap completely flat, and all that's going to do is just superheat the rubber, so you need to wear a pair of gloves. But look, there's no tyre left. Yeah. That's the reason why we just got the bead on either side of the rim, looking inside to see if there's any residual damage from that tyre, which would have been flailing around brake lines, suspension, all the issues that could be something that would cause a problem later on being checked out now. They've gone a lap down, they've got the time for the rest of this lap to be complete before they need to get the car back out. But what a setback for the 22 Nissan at such an early phase in the race.
The teams will tell you that left rear punctures are a concern around here. That's a right rear, which does suggest there might have been contact that caused it. Also, Matthew Simmons, the man at the wheel, another of the graduates from the PlayStation Academy, so having a pretty tough baptism on his first visit to Paul Ricard. You're on board with 74, the ISR Audi. Henri Assid at the wheel of it, currently fourth in Pro-Am, chasing after number 100 Lamborghini in the hands of Jeroen Moore. Henri Assid, who's already been out in the Lamborghini race. Quite a few of them, in fact, have been out in that earlier on in the day. So, the end of lap 3, the order was Smith from Reip from Bell, Piccini fourth,